November the 2nd this morning. Another beauty that we're blessed with. Not as cold this morning, but bluebird skies, high pressure, calm wind. We're back in the same tree that we sat last night, overlooking this top. We're playing these deer to come off the egg field that we were playing them to go to last night. Overnight we had good activity on the cameras showing that there were shooters going to that egg, and they haven't come back off of it yet, so that's a good sign. Not saying they didn't take a different trail or whatever, but we're feeling optimistic this morning. We had two 2-year-olds already stroll by and check out Floyd before we had shooting light, so everything's working out so far. They didn't really bust anything like that, didn't catch ground scent, so it's looking good. We just need one of these bigger ones to stroll off out of that corn and go back to bedding and start cruising, and hopefully we intercept them. So that's the plan. I hope this works because it's going to be greasy if it does, so we're going to get comfy. It's probably not going to be too long of a sit this morning, a couple hours, just because a lot of the activity is right away coming off them fields. Once these deer dump down into these draws and head back to the bedding area, I think this gig will be up, but I think the next hour is going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, action-packed, and hopefully we can let one fly.
First, you have to make the product work, and then you can make it pretty. We're super excited to introduce to you HHA Custom. We have a variety of different custom Cerakote colors that we will be offering on our Tetra Max Rise lineup. We're extremely excited for this and really excited to bring it to you, the end user. If you have any more questions on the HHA Custom Cerakote lineup, visit your local HHA dealer or hjsports.com.
Slow morning. Had a couple 2-year-olds, and then we had a little spike or 3-pointer come through. And after that, it was pretty dead. Even the cameras have been real slow this morning, which is kind of surprising. November the 2nd, perfect conditions, but something just must be off a little bit. So our plan is we're gonna get down, pack everything out, and then midday here we're gonna run and check out a couple pieces of public that we've been into before. We haven't really hunted them, so we kind of want to see what they look like this time of year. And if one looks good, we're gonna hang a double set and either sit the rest of the day, or we'll get back out and then go in later this afternoon and sit it, see what happens, maybe even sit it in the morning. So give this a little rest. And it's not like they're firing in here yet. And as history shows, it usually doesn't get that way until about the 3rd or 4th. So Just gotta be patient. Things are gonna line up. We're gonna run into something here soon. Maybe we gotta hop, skip, and jump to the puppy and shoot a 160 over there. I don't know. But that's kind of the plan. So we're gonna get down out of here, get some breakfast, and bounce around on the puppy, see what it looks like. He's pouring. Pouring on both sides. Oh my God. I'm speechless right now. That was just a cluster. You know what? We're sitting here, I just got done doing an interview. I'm gonna pack up. We're packed up. I undid the ratchet, took the camera arm off the tree, literally Brennan had the camera arm in his hand. I had the ratchet in my hand. All of a sudden we look, split brow 10's at 8 yards. And we're like, you gotta be kidding me. So I literally set the ratchet on the stand. He's got the cameras, both cameras in his backpack. Grab the one out, grab the other one out. I set the 1B cam on his stand. He grabs the 8 cam, hooks the wireless up. This is all going on. He walks right under us at 5 yards. I grabbed my bow. Luckily, something told me not to drop my bow yet. I left everything hooked up. I grabbed my bow. He stops, I don't know, 15 yards. Pretty much broadside. I shot. I mean, I'm pretty sure it looked like I heart shot him. He ran as far as I could see, maybe 80 yards. And he was wobbling. I could see blood pouring out both sides. There's a patch of CRP. He walked right into there and I could see him stumbling, and I lost him in the CRP, but it happened in, I mean, I don't know, I'm shaking. I wasn't at that time, but like what? I don't get it. Oh my gosh. Well, it's been just about an hour since we shot that deer. Unpacked everything, brought it over here by the cage blind, walked back out, got the truck, came back in. While we were at the truck, we actually popped the card out of the main camera, replayed the footage in slow-mo on the big screen, and shot is low. But what we have going for us is when it hit him, that arrow looks like it kicked up. He was quartering just a touch away. So that arrow, you could see it popped out the other side just enough. It's behind that shoulder. He was bleeding pretty good from what we could tell. He got up on top of that hill where we couldn't really see him with the camera anymore. And he was starting to stagger a little bit. And I watched him with the binocs. He walked into a CRP. Long grass. Couldn't see him, but the last I seen when he stepped in there, he was still staggering pretty good. From what we can see on the footage, he was definitely bleeding down both legs. How much, we're not sure. So our thoughts are, I had a similar hunt like this in Oklahoma a couple years back, where the shot was almost identical, low like that, but it heart shot him. That's what we're hoping for here. has just been unreal. I mean, he's been pouring the whole way. He's bedded now, twice confirmed. But we haven't jumped him. The blood in the bed is still dry. And he's doing weird stuff. Instead of just going downhill or side hill or uphill, he's just zigzagging. He has no rhyme or reason what he's doing. We're at the last spot, right where Brennan is, or he must have stood there. There's a pile of blood there, too. I don't know, I mean, with how much blood he's lost, I'm surprised he's not dead yet. Huh? Yeah, it is him. Yeah. Oh, we trailed this deer. I'd say we're about 250 maybe, something like that. Pouring blood the whole way. I mean, to the point where usually if we have question on a shot, we'll back out if it doesn't look good. This deer was pouring. You can see in the footage. I mean, he bedded twice within 20 yards. We didn't bump him out of them beds. It was all dry blood in the beds. And then he made it, I'm going to say maybe 60 to 80 yards. We figured he'd be right where he was. He was right down in the creek ditch. A bunch of thick stuff. And we were still on, I mean, blood where you can see it 10, 15 yards ahead of you. And we bumped him, we jumped him up. Not saying he looked good by any means when he got up. I mean, he got up and he ran. I wouldn't even say ran, he trotted. I don't know, 50, 60 yards, and then he started walking, and he was having a hell of a time when he was walking. We're gonna back on out of here. We're gonna give him, I shot him at right around 9. I think we'll give him till like 4. And come back in here and hopefully he's dead. I mean, if he's not, he's gonna be, I would think, okay. It's just crazy how much blood he's lost. That's that. I got nothing else. It's frustrating. Alright, we are back in here this afternoon, right at the last blood that we had before we bumped that deer. It's now 4:30, which puts it at about 7.5 hours since the shot. Looking at footage all day, of course, talking to a lot of the boys in the group and stuff, and our thought is possibly one lung. It's kind of what we gotta hope for, and that he expired here midday, hopefully. The only thing we can do is we're gonna just stay on blood. We never lost blood. We stopped here because we bumped him. He was bedded about 40 yards from us. We watched him go down the ditch, come back up, and he was real slow. And he just walked a couple yards and he stopped, and then it's just so thick in there we couldn't see him anymore. So we're praying that he's bedded somewhere right in there. He bedded twice, bedded a third time there, all within, I'd say, 80, 90 yards. So he had to be hurting. Don't like to see it happen this way, but I just hope we can put closure to this, and hopefully he's up here a little ways. It's going on about 8 right now. What we ended up doing is we went in, I think it was right about 4:30 this afternoon, got on his blood again where we kicked him up originally, followed it for probably, I'd say 150 more yards, solid blood trail just like he was doing before. And then we got into a steep creek ditch, and he was bedded there. He was still alive. He got up, looked like he was in bad shape. I mean, he was definitely laying there all day. He hadn't moved, but he had enough energy at that point to get up. So we made the decision to back out and give him a little longer. It wasn't something that I feel like it's going to take him all night to die. I mean, he was really struggling getting out of that bed, and we're a little worried about coyotes and stuff. So we backed out, like I said, for probably another 3 more hours. We literally watched him rebed. I mean, he ran 40, 50 yards and bedded up again. So we're hoping he's just laying in that bed. And we walk in there and we can recover this deer. Hate to see it this way. So I just want to put an end to the story, and hopefully we walk in there and he's dead. We just got back here. This is literally the spot that we stopped at. We could see him. He's bedded just up here. Literally, he rebedded 20, 30 yards from us. So we just let him be. We slowly backed out. We're back in here. We're gonna see if hopefully he's there. If not, I don't know what we're gonna do. I guess look at blood, but let's see if he's sitting up here. There he is, dude. He's piled up. He never moved from that bed. Let's go. It's been one of them days. Shot him at 9 this morning, right around there. And we picked up the trail, ended up backing out like 11, came back in at 4:30. Bumped him, but we knew he wasn't doing well, and I'm happy we backed out one more time, let him be for a few more hours, and that was exactly where he expired. So let's go check him out, get a tag on him. Oh, what a tank. You get a tag on him right away. This has been a long time coming. It's been a dream of mine to have one of these in my hand. To think we just punched it. It's a good feeling, but we worked for it. I will say that. Didn't come easy whatsoever. This deer, it's crazy how tough these deer are. The blood loss he had, I thought he would have been dead right away, but either way, he's gonna be in my hands now. Well, here we are, November the 2nd. What a whirlwind of a day. We climbed into the tree this morning, high expectations. We had Floyd the decoy out in front of us, sitting a big top, hoping these deer would work off the ag fields, and action started out actually pretty slow. Had a couple 2-year-olds come by, check the decoy out. They kept on going, and we had it in our minds that we were gonna sit till 9, because it's kind of one of them spots that get a lot of early movement, and then after that, it seems like they're out cruising bedding areas, ridge tops, and we're just out in the wide open. So did a closing interview. Actually, we were wrapping up. Just the wildest thing happened. Literally, we had the cameras in the backpacks, we had the tree arm off. I had my bow luckily hanging with an arrow knocked yet, and I literally had the ratchet strap from the camera arm in my hand. Brennan had the camera arm in his hand, and we looked down. This guy's working a scrape at like 8 yards, and Brennan just happened to catch the movement. So it was a cluster from then on. I put the ratchet strap on the stand. He handed me the B cam, took out the A cam, hooked the wireless mics to it, and this deer was just wound up on Floyd. Had no clue we were there. I turned around, grabbed my bow, drew, and took the shot, and just so happens, you know, game of inches, and I was just a touch low. Left, right was good, but we knew it was low from the get-go. So we picked up blood, and we had really good blood. I mean, we were kind of thinking heart shots, so we kept on him, and we ended up bumping him. So we backed out, came back in, picked up blood again, bumped him again, and then we made the right move to wait him out. And man, I'm happy we did, because he was laying right in that last bed. So just super tickled to be sitting behind this buck, my first ever Iowa deer. It was a long time coming. Finally made the move to Iowa, and
first and foremost, can't thank Brennan enough. He just, with open arms, let me come and hunt his farms. And after the whirlwind we went through today, I can't thank him enough. It's just travel with him all year long. We chase these deer all over the country, and to be able to do it in our home state now together is just, it's pretty awesome. Can't thank all the guys at the Breaking Point crew. They were all super helpful today, and I was just hoping I can get my hands around my first Iowa deer, and here he is. So couldn't be more happy. That's a wrap on my Iowa bow season. It was a whirlwind, but hey, we got a tag on one. He's a heck of a deer. It's actually a deer that Brennan's got some history with. Just an old, mature bruiser, and as you can see, he's already been fighting this year, and he wanted to do it one more time, but we got the last laugh. So we're gonna get him packed up and out of here, and probably have a couple bush lights.